Welcome to Hoodoo TV. Today we are talking new comic books for January 23rd, 2019. Let's get this show on the road. My name is Hoosier. How is everyone doing out there tonight? Make sure you're following us at Hoodoo TV on all of the platforms. We appreciate that. But most importantly, make sure you're subbing here at YouTube. And hit those bells if there's anything up. That way we can let you know when new videos and new live streams come out and go from there. We have Emerald City Comic Con coming up soon. And I know Moose and I have talked about doing some things. Moose and I have a couple things in the works. And Moose is online. Thanks for jumping online today, Moose. And then Josh is also at Emerald City Comic Con. We're planning on doing some things with Get Valiant and then a bunch of the creators as we go there. But yeah, rock and roll. Thanks for jumping on. Also, make sure you're checking us out at Patreon. Patreon is one of the places where we could actually get some type of, do some private stuff, some little bit more exclusive content, and some stuff that we're not doing anymore. So we definitely appreciate everybody for jumping on that way. Not a whole lot in the news this week. If there is some stuff that I forgot here, make sure you put that in the chat book. We want to know what's going on in the chat. We want to know what you guys think is going on. So definitely do that. Let's get this started here. You guys saw it. So one of the first things with this Patreon that we got is the Who Did What. And so we got one award out right now that we figured out. We'll roll them out. But this is 2018's new series of the year. This is what people have said on Patreon. This is what they've said on Twitter and on Facebook with our platforms. And it's kind of almost been unanimous, the one that you've seen there. And that is going to be Jeff Lemire's Gideon Falls with Andrea Sorrentino and Dave Stewart on board. This book has been great. So the inaugural Who Did What Awards goes to Best New Series, Gideon Falls. We're going to do a couple more down the road, but that's number one. We'll try to catch up with 2018, get that done in the next few weeks. But Who Did What? So that book's just been great from the beginning. It is going to be set to be a TV show with Hivemind, which is Dinesh's publishing, not publishing company, but movie production company, and TV production company. And so that's one of the first things they've done was Gideon Falls with Jeff Lemire. So score on that. One of the other things that came out with this week, one of the few news, is Major X. So this is Rob Liefeld's newest X-Men character that he's created. He looks like a Judge Dredd knockoff with the full mask. So that's kind of what he reminds me a lot of, Judge Dredd mixed with Iron Man too, with that thing in the center. I'm not too hip on him. I mean, it looks like he's still Judge Dredd's helmet. And yeah. And not to mention, one of the things that I find that to be a little weird here is Brent Peoples is doing issue number 2. So it seems like there may be a little politics going in here that you may not see from the top, and I may be looking a little bit too far into it. But it seems like Rob Liefeld wanted to do number 1 because he's writing and drawing number 1. He's only writing number 2. But I think this is the way that he gets all of the creator credit, and there's no co-creator credit. So kind of an interesting back of the house look. What do you guys think, dude? I mean that kind of makes sense in a way, but it's kind of weird to do issue number 1, write and draw, and then get somebody else in and do issue number 2. So this way he is the whole creator who did both pieces there. Which, I mean, I don't know what you guys think about that. So to bring somebody on in issue 2, that way you can be the full creator of it and not have anybody else be tied to as a co-creator of that character. Well, let's move forward. Today, or tomorrow, we got a trade wait no more, and this is the Agent arc of X-O Manowar. I believe it's volume number 4. A solid book going forward. I like what's going on. I'm sorry, this is volume 6. I'm way behind, guys. This is just awesome. I mean, we're getting a lot of the unknown in here. The Brotherhood of the Bomb is coming in here, and we're just getting a lot of that connection, the Divinity connection. But my question with this series has been, at this point, is where is Divinity? Got all these people that he kind of ruffled feathers with, and he's not to be found. I know he's about peace, but you should also clean up your own mess in a way. So, and that's, to me, with his powers, his skill set, that's the big missing question, is why aren't we seeing any of Arik around to clean up his own mess? It just seems like a weird picture that's there going forward. And guys, make sure you're putting down in the comments below what your pull list is, what you guys are reading. You know, got to go from there. See what you guys are up to. We'll definitely chat it up in the chat. But we got Chris the Moose in there. He's been chatting with me today. And yeah, he says, guess it's got to be protecting your money. So you dreamt up the figure, so why share? It's kind of a weird role. I guess he can draw it, so might as well do it. But it's interesting grabbing another artist on issue number 2. But it makes sense. I get it. But make sure you're definitely putting it down in the comments below. Want to know what you guys are chatting, what you guys are up to. But let's get this started. I have a DC book to call out, and it's from a little writer. You guys may have heard of him. Brian Michael Bendis has got a new book, and this is with the DC Wonder emblem on it. And this is part of that new, just the new series that's going to come out, more little young adults. But this is Naomi, and Naomi lives in small town America, and somehow Superman and Mongol crash into her small northwestern town, and she's kind of, it seemed to me like she's like a detective that's in the school, and she's a fan, and so it's a brand new jumping on point, brand new character, brand new origin of somebody who may be something bigger down the road. And a cool character. Brian Michael Bendis definitely brings in some minority superheroes, and this one's a young woman that's trying to find herself, where she's at, and discover her superpowers. So that's going to be one I'm going to recommend, is getting that Brian Michael Bendis, along with Jamal Campbell and David Walker on that title. Here's one I'm excited for, and I think many people are. If you're a Marvel buff, you got to be loving what your man Donny Cates has been doing. Donny Cates has been ripping it up with his Marvel runs. They're giving him all kinds of, just leeway to do what he pleases, and now he's on Guardians of the Galaxy #1. This basically comes right into his Ghost Rider of the Galaxy that he had there, and Cosmic Ghost Rider, and it's just a crazy post Infinity Wars universe galaxy wrap up, kind of getting that going, and what is to be faced with all the Guardians of the Galaxies, this huge team, all together to kind of save what's left. Thanos is nowhere to be found, so what's going to be happening next with that? Pretty cool. Then let's get into another title that people love. This is, I believe it's Boom, and this is, why can't I even think of her name? The Vampire Slayer. So we got Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and this is with Jordi Belair, awesome, Dan Mora, Becky Carey, and this is just kind of like a reboot of what Josh Whedon started years ago with, with Buffy the Vampire Slayer. So you kind of got an idea of what you're going to get, but it's said that there's going to be new bads. There's a kind of like cool tale with Buffy that gets her close to home. It's kind of like what's happening right at your door, and it's a gal who's out there to take care of vampires where she's from. So go for that. Next up is going to be Hardcore. Image title. This is number 2, and I'm digging it. This was one of my favorite books that I read last month. Andy Diggle, Alessandro Vita, and Dan Pisoni are on this, and a cool concept that was actually one of the creators is Robert Kirkman and Mark Silvestri are the creators of this. Andy Diggle is an amazing writer. We know him from what he did with Shadow Man. Loved his work. The concept of this, of being able to tie into people's brains with like a dart, and you basically get to have your drone as somebody else. So you can get into the nervous system pathway and take over somebody's body, and basically you have a drone pilot who's connected to that person. I dig it. Issue number 1 was great. Issue number 2 has got some little twists to it that are going to be pretty cool. They're going to tie in pretty well. It already seems like it's starting off fast, and I like that with some books because you're not having to wait and see what happens with it down the road. Then let's get over here to X-O Manowar, number 23. So this is cleaning up Arik is cleaning up his own stuff that he started back in Gorin, Planet Gorin, when the bounty hunters that he kind of told them to run away, leave as he left Gorin. They want to keep their perfect record of always getting their man. So now they're coming to Earth, and they're trying to take down Arik once and for all. They say that they're going to be taking. He's not being asked to be kept alive this time, and so they're going for Arik's head. Let's see what happens in this hero arc, issue number 23. And it's been speculated this might be the last arc of Arik with Matt Kindt writing it. And it does kind of, close out Gorin. It sounds like it's going to be the bounty hunters that asked to kill him and see if there's any full closure of Gorin with this. And this might be the last bit of what we get with Matt Kindt. I hope not. I do like having the longevity of a book. It is still the #1 selling Valiant title. So keep that up. If you're into it, tell me what you think of EXO. I've been enjoying it. There has been some ups and downs and some little hills there, but altogether a solid one. But let's talk about another Valiant book. And this is going to be Livewire #2. Vita Ayala is on this with Raul Allen and Patricia Martin. Man, Amanda McKee, Livewire, she did the wrong things for the right reasons, and she sees it in her pathway, and she's kind of, in a way, seeing what her right is and going about it her own way, almost Harada style, who she learned under. She is more focused on the people, her core people, and maybe not as big a picture that Harada was in, but this is where it's all running up. She's the #1. She's the most wanted out there right now because of what she did in Harbinger Wars 2. And we're kind of seeing her where she's at now, where they're taking her. I'm not trying to spoil it for you guys, but it is a good issue. I read this issue already, and so far I like where they're going with Livewire. It seems really cool, and it's a book that's moving in a direction. It's not kind of running around chasing its tail. So that is it. But there's one more. This is kind of the book I'm really excited for this book, and this one is with Gary Whitta. Gary Whitta, you guys may not know the name, but you may know who he is after I tell you this. He's the award-winning screenwriter for Rogue One, Star Wars, and The Book of Eli, which were two very well-done movies. The Book of Eli was a fantastic movie, and this is Oliver, and this is with Darick Robertson. You may know him from The Boys or Happy or Transmetropolitan, and this is Oliver. So this is basically an adaptation of a Dickens novel, and so this is Charles Dickens' novel Oliver Twist. It's about a orphaned boy, and he gets sold off to be some type of he's an orphan, and it's what he's gonna do, and he's superhero powers. Just Oliver Twist changed up quite a bit by a writer that most people should know, because those two movies I thought were fantastic, to be honest. Rogue One's probably, actually, you get down to it, it's probably one of my favorite Star Wars movies. I may be offending some Star Wars fans, but it was one of my favorite ones. I thought it did a great job of tying in but still being original. So Oliver #1, Gary Whitta and Darick Robertson in that. I'm going to say go pick that one up, and that's for sure. So, let's see what we got here. Make sure you're following us. Make sure you let us know what you're doing, guys. Let us know what you're reading. Put that down in the comments below. Like to know what you guys are reading. Make sure you're subscribing. All that fun stuff. Check us out both Facebook, Hoodoo TV, at Twitter, Outright Geekery. Thanks those guys for helping us out as always, posting their stuff there at outrightgeekery.com. Keep in contact there, and then make sure you're checking out some of our other videos. We got lots of videos on here. We do lots of live videos every Tuesday night. Subscribe right here, and then make sure you're checking out other videos, and let us know what you guys would like to see. If there's different books we'd like to review, need to get into the editing room and get some of that done, and get some of these new books. Oh, and also make sure you check out episode number 2 of Deadly Class. Episode number 1 was fantastic. Loved it very much. I think you guys should go check it out. Outside of that, everybody who jumped on, thank you. I know there's been a couple people online. Chris in the chat, man, thanks, man. Get a hold of you soon. And let us know what you guys read. Put it in the comments. Sub, like, whatever. You guys have a great day. Bye-bye.